Hey, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a quick little ride down the street and park and talk about this Vance Hines slip-on. I know I've done a video in the past, but I'm going to actually do some more talking points just in case you're in the market for a new exhaust. This will be a video for you to watch because you'll get to hear my opinion on it. So sit back, relax, and I'll be there shortly. Got some fun and exciting things coming up. Actually, a company called Harvest Chrome contacted me about reviewing some of their products, which I never thought would happen to me. You know, I always heard about YouTube channels, depending on what your niche is, you know, companies sending products, blah, blah, blah. And actually, I got contacted. Now, I don't have the product yet, so remains to be seen whether they actually send it, but I don't see why they wouldn't. They contacted me, so I believe what they wanted to send me was a rack, mounting rack, and a tour package. So I'm guessing that might be a sissy bar, a seat, some bags, don't know. But was looking into the company. They seem like they're a good company, and we'll see. Boy, this thing's got some get up. Waiting for Indian to contact me so I can ride some of their other bikes. Get on it, Indian. And while I'm saying that, if you're a company out there and you want some products reviewed, hit me up. You can message me. I'll absolutely put it on my bike or review it. I'll do an unboxing and tell you what I really think. An actual unbiased opinion. Okay, so where I'm going is right up the street here. I'm just going to go to the college. Shouldn't be anybody there, hopefully not. And I'll walk around the bike and actually show you some things about it. Some things I may like, some things I may not like. But when it comes to buying something, especially for your motorcycle, it's good to get opinions from other people. You know what I mean? Other experiences. So that's why I like to do this channel. I like to give people real honest feedback. Here we are. This is just a local college. Try to find some shade here. And then I'm going to give you the honest opinion on this exhaust. All right. Stay tuned. So I'm going to get off the bike, do a walk around, and talk something about this exhaust. So stay tuned. All right, here we are back at the bike. So today I want to talk about, as you saw from my first ride, this bad boy right here. This is the Vance Hines 2025 slip-on. I purchased this one at West End Motorsports. I will leave a link to the website in the description if you're willing to purchase it. It cost $549. When I got it, when I purchased it, it was not in stock yet, so I had to wait a little bit. I'm pretty sure they're in stock now. So let's talk a little bit about it. If you're in the market of buying one, or you want to make an upgrade or a mod to your bike. It's usually the first mod that people make on their cruisers, especially the Indian, because of the fact that if you are familiar with this bike, the one that comes with it basically comes out to about here. They call it the Cannon. Doesn't sound great, doesn't look great, in my opinion. That's the only thing I could say about this bike when I first got it that I didn't like. But, you know, now that I have the Vance Hines on, you know, I like it a lot more. So why would you get this? Well, it's the first mod that you could do. And what I like about the Vance Hines, when you're talking about cruisers, what's the main brand that you think about when it comes to exhaust, which to me is Vance Hines. They have other ones, Dean Speed, they have Tab, blah, blah, blah. But Vance Hines is well known, quality build. They've been around a long time. The one thing I do love about this one is you can change the sound of this bike drastically without putting a full exhaust on. You know, you can absolutely put a full exhaust on, but then you have the ECU flash. You have some other things that you have to deal with. This was a perfect option for me, just to be able to change that not so great sound that it came with, and I'm able to, you know, sound more aggressive, look more aggressive without changing, you know, putting a whole new exhaust on. So if that's an option for you, if you don't want to go through all that and, you know, taking it to get the ECU flashed and all that, this is for you. Again, a couple things that I do want to mention. When I called there, they were at West End Motorsports, was great customer service. They explained to me that this was a direct replacement, which that's what I wanted. I didn't want to do any modifications or have to figure anything out. They made this specifically for this bike, so all bolt patterns and everything were, that one right there, it was perfect. Installation's about 20 to 30 minutes if you know what you're doing, which took us about 20 minutes. I have a video on the install. It was actually my first video that I actually did, so it's not the greatest video. If I get brave, I'll remove it and put it back on and show you a better video, but you can get the gist of what it was. Again, about 20 minutes. Wasn't too hard. You know, the build is there. The quality is there. I will say this, the color is a little different than the heat shield. Well, I get a lot of comments about that, but I mean, as you can see, there's a slight difference, but it's not too bad. Again, for the sound that you're getting, I mean, there are louder exhausts out there, slip-on exhaust. I believe Dean Speed or a Slash Cut Tab, they might be a little louder, but this is a perfect exhaust for you if you want to get louder but not obnoxious. So this is not obnoxious. It's just perfect for, you know, neighborhood riding. You're not going to, you know, offend anybody. You're not going to offend your neighbors, but it's loud enough where it could still, it still sounds great. Like when you're running through tunnels and stuff or under overhangs, you can really hear the deep sound of it. I, in my experience, have gotten a little bit more throttle response with it. I get some pops, some cracks, which really make the experience much better. Yeah, Vance Hines really came out with a good product. I'm not sure. I believe this has a baffle in. Not 100% sure. It's not super loud. I will start it for you so you can hear it. It's not, again, it's not ridiculously loud. Would I like it louder? Absolutely. If it's one thing that I'm partial to really loud bikes, but you know, this one does sound 1,000 times better than the stock Cannon that came with it. So if you are, you know, if you just bought this bike and the first thing you're thinking is, oh, I don't like the sound, you know, I wish it was a little bit more aggressive sounding, this Vance Hines is for you. You know, again, they come with years of building these things. This is a direct replacement, which is one of the beauty things of it, is that again, anybody can do it. The bolt patterns line up. You just needed a couple parts off the previous one. I think one was a bumper that made the bolts line up. Again, check out that video. I'll link it at the end. So yeah, I probably would buy this one again if I had to do it all over. I love it. Again, it's not too loud, but it's loud enough to make a difference. The throttle response, again, I get a little bit of difference in it. Some cracks and pops. No ECU change. I didn't have to take the whole engine apart and put in a brand new full exhaust system, which, I mean, I watched some videos on that. You have to take the tank off, all the stuff. I mean, I just didn't want to do that. So this one, I'm so glad Vance and Hines came out with this, because I didn't know which one I was going to put on. I was looking at many different ones, and this is the one I chose. So let me step back. This is a full look at the bike from the side. So I think it's just long enough, whereas if you this bike, the cannon that sticks out all the way out to the end, it's the first thing that turned me off against it. So I knew I was going to buy this bike, and I knew the first thing I was going to do was change out the exhaust. So this is what I came up with, and let's look at it from here. Yeah, it's pretty aggressive. Changes the whole look of the bike, in my opinion. I mean, look at that. And what does it sound like? Helps if I put the key in. Yeah, this is a 2025, and that's the actual 2025 Vance and Hines slip-on. So let's sit on the bike and let's take a look and a hear and a listen. Now, the one thing I will say, I still get a faint smell when I start it up. I don't know what that is. Maybe somebody knows, they could tell me. Not horrible, but you can definitely smell something going on. It's probably from inside. But other than that, I have nothing but a great experience with this. So if you guys are in the market to change up your exhaust on your 2025 Indian Scout Bobber, I would recommend this Vance and Hines, and they don't pay me to say that. So thanks again, guys, and please like and subscribe, and it really helps me out. And you guys have a wonderful Sunday, and if you're riding today, stay safe. Take care. All right, I'm back again. So what I'm going to do is, on the way home, I'm just not going to really talk. I'm just going to let you hear the bike as it sounds riding. we're back at the crib. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, that was the 2025 Vance Hines slip-on exhaust. Have a good day.